What is up, dudes? Welcome back to another video, and today we are here taking a look at a very interesting figure, and that is the nun Valak from the Conjuring universe. And I gotta say, I rewatched all the Conjuring movies, from The Conjuring, Annabelle, The Nuns, and I have to say, The Nun is not horrible. That's just, for me, it's like one of those guilty pleasure movies, I guess. The Nun 2 sucks. That is the worst out of the franchise. The Nun is not good, but it is one of those movies that I like because I like it. It's not bad. It's not a bad movie. I prefer Conjuring 2. That's my favorite out of the universe, but this one's not too bad. But we're taking a look at this figure. But before we do, of course, subscribe. If you don't, that's totally fine. But if you do, that's totally cool. Anyways, of course, down in the description, there's my Instagrams you can follow if you want. But looking at this box, this is one of the coolest boxes I have seen. It's very unique to whatever we've seen before. I love the edges of the kind of book cover that we got going on here. I really like the nun's face at the cover with the glowing yellow eyes. The nun, of course, ultimate Valak figure. I love how it looks like a book. It goes from all the sides, from top side to bottom. It looks really good on the other side. It's a nice book cover, the back of a book or something. It looks really cool. I really do like it. And of course there's the bottom as well. Nothing interesting, but it just does continue the pages from the other sides. The back of the book just shows a little bit of the figures and stuff. If you open up the box, it does have an image of Valak there, and here is Valak here with all of her accessories. And this is the first time I'm opening her. I got her in yesterday, and this has never been opened before, so it's kind of like my first time going into this, so it's really cool. I really wish that they made more from the Conjuring universe, to be honest. I would love to have an Ed and Lorraine Warren. I think those would be fantastic figures to get because, of course, they're like the highlight of the Conjuring universe. The demons are cool, but man, I love those two characters, and those two I would love to have in a Neca form. So that would be really cool. I think that would be amazing, especially with these three demons that you get, because they've made Annabelle, they've made the Crooked Man. That would be awesome. This slipcover is kind of boring to me, so that's why I'm kind of grazing over it. It's nothing crazy, but yeah, I would love to have those. I don't know if there's anybody else I'd love to have from that universe, but Ed and Lorraine Warren are my top two. I think they've made everybody else. They made Annabelle as well, which would be a cool one to get just to kind of complete the set because they've only made 3 figures from this line. But getting into this figure's accessories, she does come with a base, which is pretty handy, especially for some things are to come, but the base is pretty cool. She does come with 2 sets of hands. She's got these really disgusting kind of evil looking attack hands, which is very nice. I love the off-white skin tone to them with the kind of black wash. The detailings and the sculpt work is also fantastic. Very creepy on how they did those. She also does come with these more calmer hands, which are also painted the same way. Very nicely detailed and sculpted. Again, just pretty nice sets of hands. I think they could have added maybe a little bit more. I don't know what other hands they could have added, but it just feels like they could have added just a tiny bit more to them, especially with the head department, because I really like the heads. The heads are super cool. She's got this kind of normal expression going on here. I really like the detailing all the way around the head, and the face is so nice, painted the kind of the same way the hands are. Love the vein at the top of the head. The nose is painted and sculpted nicely. The sunken in black eyes and the lips, so good looking. And she also does come with this more evil expression, which is also very nice looking, and the teeth are very nicely detailed. I actually really like how the teeth are individually painted, and I think that looks very nice. And if you get a closer in look, the eyes are just evil looking. Like, this whole figure just looks so evil, and it's really cool to see, and I think it fits her very well. I really wish they added more, because either they're like 2 head sculpts you get, you could have added the smiling head. That would have been really cool. But they also do come with this orb. The box calls it the orb, but if I remember, this is the kind of orb that contained the blood of Jesus, if I remember correctly, which basically that's what this looks like. So very interesting accessory to give her, because she doesn't necessarily have this. I mean, I guess she does. It is empty, so it doesn't have anything in it, but I don't know. It's an interesting accessory, and it is kind of cool looking. I do like the sculpt to it, but very interesting to have. Now the next accessory does come in this little kind of wrapped baggie, which is also taped. So taking that out of its little baggie area, it is the necklace of the cross that she has on her outfit. Very interesting. I really like the sculpting and the detailing work on this tiny little accessory, which is very easy to lose, and even during filming I kind of lost it. So yeah, be careful with it. I didn't lose it, I found it, but yeah, just be careful. It's very small. She also does come with this painting that Ed Warren made in The Conjuring 2, which is super cool and looks exactly like the movie. She also does come with like a back kind of piece to make it look like a canvas. It's made out of a very sturdy cardboard. I feel like it's on the same material as McFarlane uses for their cards. Maybe a little bit more sturdier. I don't know. I wish they just made it plastic. It would have been cooler, but pretty cool overall. But the figure looks great. I have to say that this figure looks pretty good to what we see from the movie. I think it looks pretty accurate from what I remember, and just the face just makes it up. I think the face really pulls this entire look together, and I just think that it just did a very good job on this whole entire piece. And she is on her stand right now because it is hard to stand her up on her own, but man, the detailings on this figure is nice, and all of this is cloth. All of this is a fabric, which honestly is tailored pretty nicely to the figure, so I'm very happy about that. The only bit that is not made out of a material and more of a rubbery plastic is the strap, the brown strap. But other than that, it does look very nice, and I think that it looks really cool. From the back of the figure, it does look very nice as well. I don't care for this very top part, which is kind of open. Very interesting. I don't know. I don't like the white that kind of peeks through when you're looking at it from the back. Again, you're not going to be, posing this figure from the back, but it just would have been nice. I don't know, but it does look very nice. It's still a very cool looking figure, and I think it just looks really cool overall. And you could kind of get that really creepy effect of her kind of floating in the air. I think it's really cool. I really do like how you can remove just the top part, the veil. I think that's really cool. It's also on a bendy wire too, all the way up just from the front part. So that's easy to move, so you can get a better grip at posing the figure or taking the head off. So I really do like that. And taking the figure off, the figure's head off, you can just pop that on. That's where I lost the cross too. I don't know where that went. But there's the veil, or the other part to it, which you can also slide right off. You can also put the head on. If you put the head on and just kind of forgot to put this piece on, that is okay, because this part is Velcro, so you can just attach that around her neck if you wanted to, if you forgot to put the head on before. I don't know, just in case you didn't do that. I did find the cross, so there's the cross there. I really like this angry look too. It just looks really cool. Again, I wish that this figure came with a little bit more accessories. I do like what we get, but man, it just would have been cooler to have that really sinister grin that she has in the movie. So yeah, that's my only gripe about this figure. She looks really great next to the Crooked Man, which these two just fit so well together. Very happy about that. She does have a pretty decent amount of posability, which is his worst tragedy will strike, sadly. Up and down at the head, she does have a side to side, and of course a rotation, which is pretty creepy to see. The arm can go out that far and also forward that far. It can't do a full rotation because of the fabric, but you can just go back and forth about that far. She does have a bicep swivel. She has a very nice double bend at the elbow, which is really nice. A swivel at the wrist and a hinge joint as well, so that's really cool. She does have a little bit of a side to side with the waist and a crunch that can go forward that far and back that far. A little bit of swivel there. The legs can spread to, I guess, about that far. It does spread pretty far with the kind of bottom dress part. The leg can go out that far, which you can show off a little bit of her legs there. Go back that far. There is a bend at the knee, and it just snapped right off. That was very tragic. I didn't even put that much pressure, but I feel like it is very cold. It is very cold the past couple days, and yeah, the joints are very, very tight because of it, I think. So I would be very careful when posing this figure. Does she have ass detail? She does. She has a little bit of cheek showing. What naughty. Anyways, there is a little peg that is in there, which kind of sucks. It's a tiny peg to do this part. And there's also some excess plastic that really kind of made it hard to bend in the first place. So it might have been on me, might have been on a QT problem, it might have been on the cold too. So either way, it was somebody's fault. I think it was all three of us combined. But yeah, it was tragic. But honestly, I'm not too mad about it because, I mean, she's not going to be posed in any weird way. So I like it. She can just stand straight up. She also does have a up and down at the foot and a pivot as well. Again, be careful with doing these joints because tragedy can strike. So I would suggest blow drying it and giving her a little heat before messing with her, especially with this figure because she's got some little small joints. So I had to glue this entire piece up. So she's kind of just looking at herself, reflecting on where she went wrong in life and how she ended up in this situation. But getting her back together, she does stand to a little under 7 inches, or just about 7 inches, I think, from what I'm seeing. And the Crooked Man looks really great next to her, like I've said before. Another little comparison is a previously reviewed Invisible Man figure. Pretty cool overall. So what do I think about this figure? Well, other than breaking the leg and potential QT problems with how thin the joints are, I like her. I think she's really good. The only problem that I have is that she has a very lack of accessories, which what she has is really good. And honestly, you don't need more side things, but I feel like they could have given her a little bit more hands, I would say, and head sculpts. Head sculpts would have been amazing. Just that evil grin that she has in The Nun, and I'm sure I can find some more images with some other expressions, but I would have loved to have that evil face. That evil face would have been so cool. I think with everything that I've seen with this figure so far, she's great. Again, face, more hands, I think would have been amazing. Would have made this figure like probably a 5 out of 5. And maybe the lack of breaking her limbs off would have been kind of higher. But I think for now, a 4.6 out of 5 is pretty good. She's a great figure. And honestly, if you like the Conjuring movies or the Nun movie, you would 100% want this figure because she is really cool. I didn't mention the Nun 2 because that movie sucks and it was one of the worst in the franchise. Right next to Annabelle Comes Home. It was my 2 least favorite from that movie, from that universe, and kind of sad, but whatever. It's whatever. I haven't seen the last Conjuring movie, The Last Rites, and I'm really hoping that it is good. And honestly, I'm kind of dreading it because I don't want to see it end. Because honestly, as the franchise is and how much of a bad rap it gets, it's honestly a fun franchise, to be honest. And you know, I like the first Conjuring. The second Conjuring is not too bad. Third one was very mid, but Ed and Lorraine, I love those two together, so that really made up the movie for me a little bit. Annabelle was mid. Annabelle Creation was pretty good. Annabelle Comes Home sucked. The Nun was pretty good. The Nun 2 absolutely sucked. That was a horrible movie. Did I mention the Conjurings? Conjuring was good. Oh yeah, I did. I think Conjuring 2 was peak though. That is my favorite out of the entire series, to be honest. But other than that, I dig this figure. It's not a bad figure. Again, accessories would have been a big part. But or maybe even adding the picture frame. The picture frame could have been like an actual sculpted picture frame instead of a cardboard piece. Like, come on, give me what I want. You know what I mean? If you're making a figure like this, which honestly I don't think would ever be made again, go all out. I would say just go out, because there's going to be a big fan of this character. I would go all out by making everything sculpted, I guess, you know. But anyways, I think that's pretty much it for this figure. I really did like this figure. It was not bad. Looks great next to the Crooked Man. And Annabelle, I'm going to be getting Annabelle. I need to get Annabelle now because she's the last one, and might as well. She's like the main face that we've seen so many times now. We'll get Annabelle soon, and I really hope I really, really hope that NECA would just do an Ed Lorraine Lauren 2-pack. I think that would be amazing. That would make me really happy. I would think I would be over the moon by that. But anyways, that's basically it for this video. I hope you guys did enjoy this one. If you did, comment, subscribe, all that stuff, whatever. Let me know what you guys think of this figure and this franchise. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Love you, love your show. Take care. See you guys in the next horror review.